Okay, so let's just discuss Eloquents. And Eloquents ORM using Laravel for beautiful, for active record implementation. Basically, we can just retrieve data and add data without using any query, right? Without using any SQL query, for example, select all from. It will just do them. Laravel just provide us a beautiful way, and it will just do it behind the scenes, right? So let's just look how it works. If I just go to my migration, I have only create posts table, right? And this is here in my database. So if I just open the posts, we have title and body here, right? Now for Eloquent, basically we need to introduce models. So we have to create a model for that, and a model is in MVC, the model we just learned views and controllers. What about the model? And model is kind of, for example, it's for example, in short, it's models are our databases. It deals with our database, right? The model representation, the data representation, right? So we already have the user model here. You can just have a look, and if you want to create a model for your posts, right? So we just say PHP artisan, and then we have make model here. There it is. It will create Eloquent model class, right? So if we say PHP artisan make model, and the name of the model, for example, it should be singular, and we can just make it capitalized, something like that. Post model. It will just create our post model here, and you can see it is totally empty. Okay, now we just have there are lots of variables. For example, we can just use here to, for example, protected the name of the table. For example, we want to use is, in our case, the name of the table is posts, right? And we can also use protected fillable labels, right? Let's just see how our fillables are basically simply our fields here, the title and the body, right? And you can just add many other fields, and when you need to provide them here, right? Basically, for example, in our case, we just have title and then we have body. And let's just say, for example, we have protected and then guarded, and guarded is basically totally opposite of the fillable. We can just add, instead of guard, it is guarded, right? That's it. Okay, so this is, and we can all add many other functionalities. If you just go to Laravel Eloquent API, you can just learn more about the models, right? Okay, so if you just create a new route, for example, for our controller, and let me just create a new controller. Okay, if I just come in this and go to terminal and then say PHP artisan make a controller called posts controller, right? And it just created a controller for us. So let's just say okay, posts controller is inside our HTTP controllers. Let's just refresh this. There it is, posts controller. And then we need to create the index method here, function index. And here, what you do, for example, let's echo hello. There it is, right? Now let's just see how Eloquent works. Basically, we just created our model called post, and that means the post table is basically, the name of the table would be plural. So that means this is the table for our post, right? Okay, if we just add some posts, and you can just add many other, for example, okay, we just have 3 records here. Okay, if we just say, for example, the name of, we just need to include our model here. So we say use app and then the name of the model is post here, and then simply we will create a variable called post and then say post and all, right? And if we say written post and then just go to your browser, reload the page, there it is. Great. Now you can see we are just getting the data in the JSON form. Basically this is JSON form, and I have installed JSON formatter plugin, so it returns the data in a JSON form, all, right? That means basically it is selecting all the posts from our database. Post all, basically this is the model and this is the method that we are going to use, and it returns a JSON form, right? And we can just simply for each them. For example, this is not a good idea to for each them in your controller. Basically we can just pass the data to view. I think we have to pass them. Let's just go ahead and create a view inside our views, posts, and then post.blade.php or posts.blade.php. okay, so we just go to controller and then we will return the view, and the name of the view is inside posts, and that posts, right? There it is. Now we need to say compact, and we are just basically passing the array of posts, and it should be in a string posts. Great. Now let's just come to the post, and if you just write some blade templating here and then go again and reload the page, now you can see it is returning the complete collection of posts, right? So let's say for example we will use the for each blade directive to see the data. If we say posts as post, and then we need the post title, for example, go back and reload the page, there it is. This is the title of the post, and we just need to, might we have some formatting, good formatting. There it is. Reload the page, there it is. This is the names of these posts, right? And we're also having one extra line here. If you just delete this record, save it, reload the page, still it works. Okay, if we just refresh the table, the 0 record here, we just need to delete it, save it, and then reload the page, there it is, right? So this is the title of the post, and you can also get the body of the post right here, there it is. Now basically we need to say something like that, break, and then the post body, so it looks good. There it is. This is the body of the post and this is the post, right? So this is how we can retrieve data from the database, and we can add conditions over here. Let's say for example, instead of all, we can just say where id equal to 1, and then let's just die and dump this, the post, so it will kill this area. So let's just go back and reload the page. You can see undefined post, it is posts. Okay, basically it returns a complete builder because we just told it posts where id is 1. We need to again pass the get or first, something like that. So if we just say get and then again reload the page, so you can see it returns a collection, and we will just discuss what collections are. And if we just say first, the first does not mean that first, basically first post, that means first item in the collection. So if we just go back to see the collection, this is basically items. For example, this is first item, so we can say first. If there is any last item, if the collection, if the builder returns more collections, so we can add more functionalities like first or last. So we say first. Now you can see it returns a complete object of post, and it contains an array of the post. Nice post, right? Like that, right? And basically this is the id of 1, and this is the post for that id, and we can just pass this, right? And we can also say, for example, instead of where, we can say take 5, for example 2 posts from this page, and there it is. Okay, so again for each this, and if we say get instead of first, there it is. Now we can see the 2 posts. If we want to say 1 and returns 1 post, again 3. Now we because we have 3 posts in our database, so we just can't work with big data. Okay, that's good. Okay, again in our view, for example post, we can still say if the posts count, that means if it returns true, then we should see this post, else for example in our p tag there is no posts, and then we can say and if, right, and we can just delete the post and see the result, what's going on. But before that we can just add str limit here, for example str limit, and then pass the post and the limit, for example could be 20 here, and then go back and reload the page. If we just make it 10, okay, there we go. We can just handle the limit, and if we just go and delete all of the posts from our database and then come back and reload the page, you can see there's no posts because we just use the if statement here. Okay, last few things, we just for example we want to create some fake data here, right? We can generate fake data. For example, if we just say route get and then seed, basically we have a look what seeds are, right? Okay, then we can call our app the model post as a post. Okay, and then we will generate some fake data here. So if we just say create a variable called faker, and then should be equal to a faker class, and it has again the facade of factory, right? And factory could help us to create fake data. Okay, now simply we need to add the for each loop, so it iterates each time how many data we need. Basically we just need some data between 1 to 50. Basically we need just 50 data here, as in for example make it like that, and then we just create the variable called posts, and we need to create data inside the post, right? Create, and then we just need to say title, right? The title should be equal to, and then body should be equal to something. Okay, if we just go to our post model, we just define the title and then body, so it works, right? And then we need to say figure sentence, 10 sentences here we need, and here for example we can say figure sentence, for example we need a 50 sentence for our case, right? So if we just go to our browser and then run the seed, okay, string data for example, okay, that's because we need to if you just go to our post migration, okay, it's our database migration, and then we have to say that should be around 255 and then change, right? Okay, so let's go back and then run this again. Oh yeah, we need to again run the migration php artisan migrate fresh, so it will drop the table and add them again. Okay, still the same error. No, but still this time the body, unknown column body in the field. I think we don't need to say something like change. Oh yeah, we need to change the data type. That should be text because the body would work. So in that case, okay, migrate fresh, go back, run this, and I think this time it would work. So if we just go to our database and refresh, there will have a lot of data here. Now we can just work with this data. Oh, still we cannot see the body tag, but the body here, oh, that's there. Okay, so it works. This is the way you can just work with Eloquents. So in the next video we might discuss about how we can create data in our database.